So we should start now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Shall I start now? Yeah, or we should wait for principal, sir.
No, no, you start. Principal sir will
Okay,
not
sir.
be able to join because he has guests at his home.
Okay,
So you start.
okay, sir. Okay. Very good afternoon to everyone. I, Ansul, on behalf of whole Ambedkar Study Circle, ARST College, would like to welcome all of you in this Samta Samvad 2020, which is a platform where young voices of different social political ideologies interact with each other on some theme related to Baba Sahib Ambedkar. So the main idea that was behind naming this event as Samta Samvad comes from Ambedkar itself. There was a newspaper which began publication on 29th June 1928, which was the organ of Samta Sangh. Samta Sangh was an organization floated by Dr. Ambedkar for bringing about social reform in the society to annihilate caste hierarchy or caste differences in the society. So, as the name suggests itself, Samta means equality and Samvad means dialogue. Therefore, it can be termed as a dialogue of equality. We also believe in dialogue. Even having political differences, we must come and discuss our political differences, social differences to annihilate social inequality in whatever the form it exists in our society. Before I proceed further, I very briefly wants to give some information about society, about this our organization or about our society. So the Ambedkar Study Circle was established in our college on 8th of October 2015 under the banner of Popular Lecture Series. In the initial period of society, we were confined to organizing only seminar, debates, and quizzes. But from few years back, we started to held regular session of our society in which we student of different courses, which are part of society, gather twice a week in college premises to discuss Ambedkar writings under the guidance of our convener Ajit Kumar sir. Uh, so now I request to our convener Ajit Kumar sir to say few words and we I now I request to Ajit Kumar sir to say few words. Ajit Kumar sir.
Okay. Thank you. And I'm very privileged and honored that my old alma mater students are joining for this talk. Uh, so I welcome to Shah Kumar, Vinod Kumar, welcome and behalf of ARSD College and Ambedkar Study Circle. Uh, I welcome you all. And Ansul, forget to tell you that Ambedkar Study Circle is one of the most vibrant society of our college. And in these 4 5 years, we had or we were able to discuss so many things and organize many events, which is appealing to the students. And when there was regular classes, still we managed to discuss many things or original writings of Baba Sahib Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And uh, the idea came that why not the students belonging to other institutions, what they think, and we should also listen to them because undergraduate students, they are into or they had very little idea because there is many things to do. And university like Jawaharlal Nehru University, where lots of debates and discussions are going on, or so they came up with the ideas that why not we invite the students from other universities, what they think about Baba Sahib Ambedkar, and from the different political ideology also. So this was the background, and on many occasions we debate and discuss and organize, as was the motto of Baba Sahib Ambedkar also, that uh, um, unite, organize, and educate. So and study also. So that was the whole idea behind this function. So I formally welcome all the four speakers of today's Samta Samvad. This was the first of this kind that ARSD College is going to organize. So it will be now a regular phenomena. So welcome you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So now I request Rifat to introduce our speaker for this event.
Today, we have four speakers from JNU Students' Union with us, having different political ideologies. They are going to communicate their thoughts on the topic Ambedkar as Orsai. The speakers are Sushant Kumar, Vinod Kumar, Shivam, Vikas Singh, Gautam. Now, I would request Mr. Prashant Kumar, the research scholar in Center of Philosophy JNU, presidential candidate in JNU2 election 19, to deliver his views.
Thank you, Rifat. Thank you, Ansul, and thank you, Ajit sir. I mean, it's an honor to be present here and share my ideas on Ambedkar. So first, I really extend my greetings to all of you, and I also have an apology. I really need to apologize for all of you to say that I had a lot to share on Ambedkar, but since I am suffering from fever since last 4 days, I couldn't prepare as much I could have done that. But it shouldn't be a problem, and I need to share what I have to. So let us start. I mean, I hope that everyone knows about Socrates, and if everyone knows about Socrates, we know that Plato has a different understanding of Socrates, and Thrasymachus has a different understanding of Socrates. And if we go by that distinction, and if we go by that characterization, we know that the character of Socrates in Plato is quite different than the character of Socrates in Thrasymachus. And how does it happen? It happens in a sense that when we talk about any person, the ideas of any person, different people have a different understanding of that particular person. Ambedkar is no exception in that. And my apology again, if I will be using Ambedkar or Gandhi or Nehru, I may not be putting that words like G or Dr. Ambedkar or Baba Bhimrao Ambedkar. Apologies for that, but it will come in influency. So अगर हम उस हिसाब से देखें तो we have seen that कि Arundhati Raj has written another introduction, a different kind of introduction. Rodrigues has written a different kind of introduction. Similarly, Temtumlik sir has written a different kind of introduction. If we go by that, we understand that different people have a different understanding of Ambedkar. And obviously, it should be happen in that way that if I am engaging with the thoughts of Dr. Ambedkar, I must have a different understanding altogether. Despite Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar talking on a particular issue, yet I may have a different understanding. And that's why we will see that each person engaging with Ambedkar's thoughts write different introduction, a different sorts of introduction altogether. The sincere question should be, how does it happen? What is really in that people come out with understanding of Ambedkar? Obviously, Ambedkar has a lot to offer to different sections of people. Ambedkar has a lot to offer to different ideas concerning to Muslims, women, laborers, and different other things. So if I will be dealing, I may have come up with a different understanding altogether. And also, if a person has written so much on different issues, just talking about a 1 point or 2 point will not be enough. So, and also, I do not claim that I am a specialized in Ambedkar thought. So, if you are expecting me that I will be providing you a brief introductions of all the concept, my apologies, I won't be able to do that. So, let's confine what I'm going to do that. Not only Ambedkar, but also people who have talked about Ambedkar have talked on different issues such as women, laborers, and Muslims, caste and class. Then, if we come down to the constitutional values, then we have seen that most of the people have talked about fraternity, equality, liberty, and the less talked concept is the citizenship in making that Dr. Ambedkar referred in Gandhism and different other articles. And he actually talks about Dalit being in a situation where their citizenship is being made. So these are the different issues where people have talked about. What is less explored and less talked is the structure and the body politics in Ambedkar. I mean, very few people have talked about what is the inherent or the ontological structure in Ambedkar thought, all the body politics in Ambedkar thoughts. Everyone is more interested in the caste atrocities, the critique on communist, his Ambedkar's thought on labors and everything. So I will try to focus on the less talked thing, the structure of Ambedkar thought and his body politics. Everyone has talked about Gandhi's body politics, of course, body. So let us talk about Ambedkar. So what is Ambedkar doing in order to put forward his solution to uplift minorities, uplift the underprivileged? So if anyone has ever tried to understand the basic society, if anyone has ever tried to understand the basic structure of the society, there is a common distinction in understanding society. What we as a distinction is descriptive society or descriptive metaphysics, call it philosophy, or a revisionist metaphysics. In descriptive metaphysics, what we do is to explain or make it explicit the real structure of the society. And in the revisionary, what we try to do, we try to provide solution. We try to come up the problems. We problematize the problems in order to magnifying the issue, and then we try to provide solution. I will try to explain it with three evidences or examples. Evidence in the sense that I will be talking about first the Hathras case, then the second movie Article 15, then the third South Indian movie Asura. Why I'm taking all these examples from different scenarios? First is the Hathras, the UP, the central thing, where we understand that the Dalit atrocities are higher at rate. The second is about Article 15, which we particularly consider that Article 15 is the one movie that Bollywood presented the Dalit atrocities and the problems of Dalit, despite being directed by an upper caste. The third movie is the Asura, which is a Dalit movie, talks a different understanding of Dalit issues and atrocities. And I will be taking these three examples just in order to show Ambedkar's descriptive metaphysics of Indian society, how this society is. So we all know that in Hathras case, two things are quite interesting. The first thing is that there are upper caste holding a meeting that these upper caste are not responsible for raping a Dalit girl. At the same time, there's another scenario happening that few 3 or 4 girls or what we call those girls anchor, they are upper caste, they are just talking about justice to that girl. What they are coming out with this is, on the one side, some upper caste is defending the accused, and then other side there are some upper caste who is trying to provide justice to the victim. What is happening is that only the upper caste, from the side, the upper caste, one side is providing a narration that upper caste is not involved. On the other side, there's another narration that the upper caste is actually fighting for the rights of the Dalits. But if you go deeper in that particular issues, how many has really talked about the Dalit atrocities in women in the case? Any political party, whoever it is. No one actually talks about the Dalit atrocities relating to Hathras case to in different spaces. Near Hathras only. If you talk about the Agra, if you talk about Mathura, there were many cases of Dalit atrocities, especially in women cases. We will find it very ironical that most of the cases in which Dalit atrocity can be seen are hardly talked about, pointing out the issues of Dalit atrocities. No one ever did that, even in the Hathras case. Let us shift to the another case, Article 15, the famous dialogue, जिसमें आयुष्मान खुराना कहते हैं कि सिर्फ 2 रुपए बढ़ाने की मांग में उनका रेप कर दिया गया. And here is again a problem in the sense that when we talk about the caste issue in terms of monetary thing, कि only 2 rupees one Dalit girl was raped or 2 Dalit girl was raped and then they were murdered, hanged on a tree. The problem is not that, and also that we are not specifying the problem in terms of the caste issue, but in a class issue. We are saying that because Dalit girls were demanding 2 rupees hike and that's why they were killed. No, that was not the issue. So even Article 15 tries to explicate the problems of Dalit issue, it actually moves in a different way altogether. And that's why I particularly think that the movie Asuran in Tamil has a different aspect altogether. If you haven't watched Asura, I will particularly suggest all of you to watch that movie. And interestingly, in that movie, they actually try to confine Dalit issues in terms of Dalit issues, in caste issues, which they say that this is a pride movement of an upper caste to hold the, how do you say that, to hold the privilege, the pride, in order to subjugate the Dalits. And if someone raises voices from Dalit community, they actually have to suppress that because that's the biggest threat. And if I mean, in an article, Harish wanted a professor instead of a political philosophy. While celebrating Ambedkar as a national hero, we must not forget his central thesis. What is happening in that when he mentions, when Ambedkar mentioned that India today are governed by 2 different ideologies. The first, political ideals, which is actually instinct in constitution that affirms a life of liberty, equality, and fraternity. On the other hand, the social ideal, which is actually embedded in religion that denies every of them. So when we talk about this descriptive metaphysics, we have seen that the upper caste privilege doesn't want to leave that thing because their values are ancient in religion. And when it comes down to religion, they always try to think of their privilege in terms of what they got. Ambedkar talks about 3 different sorts of understanding of Varna Vyavastha and Jati Vyavastha. First, that is ancient in Vedas, which is further explicated by Manu. The second is Gita, and the third is in Gandhi. The Manu Smritis and Gandhian understanding of Varna Vyavastha and Jati Vyavastha are quite similar. But Krishna's interpretation in Gita are quite different, which actually talks about the work, the labor, in terms of characteristics in men. Other 2, Manu and Gandhi, talks about the characters of work by birth. So these are the 2 different things. And here one needs to think about the understanding of Gandhi on caste, on atrocities of Dalit. The point is that this is the one structure that Ambedkar talks about. But the other side, the revisionary metaphysics and also the body politic that I am going to talk about, we have seen that Ambedkar talks about 2 different things. One, the social ideal, the political, and the second is the political ideal. Social ideal talks about things instant in religion, and that's what I'm calling the first body 1, which Ambedkar has to question. The second is the political body, the political ideal, which is actually the revisionary metaphysics that Ambedkar talks about. That's the second body part 2. And how one will do that? So Let us talk about the political ideal and how we have to make the body. If you have understand Gandhi, or if you have read a bit about Gandhi, Gandhi's understanding or Gandhi's putting his body in terms of only wearing one dhoti, doing everything by their own, creating a body where he can show that everyone has to be self-sufficient. It's actually equivalent to his concept of Swaj. That one has to be self-sufficient in order to do that, and that's how he created his body, and which is quite goes through his understanding of religion, and that's how you can see that Gandhian body actually serves the purpose of his concept of Swaraj. But when it comes down to Ambedkar, you have to see the understanding of Ambedkar in a different light, where he talks about fraternity, liberty, equality, and how he can ensure all these values in his body politics. So one must understand that on a one side, Gandhi was critiquing modernity, but on the other side, Ambedkar was embracing modernity. You have seen all the Ambedkar pictures wearing coat, pant, and everything, and that's the difference of understanding, or offer that a different sort of understanding of a body politic in Ambedkar. He actually has to see all the minorities, all the underprivileged, that through your own body, by placing your body at the central role of Indian politics or Indian society, you have to come out. And that's why you have to embrace modernity. But at the same time, if we just understand the quotation that has been forwarded to all of you, the cultivation of mind is the ultimate aim of science. Basically, this line has been taken from his essay on Gandhism, where he talks about the central aim of society is to enable everybody is to enable everybody to cultivate his mind rather than the pursuit of his physical need. Okay? So if you will see from that perspective, the body which we talk about in revisionary metaphysics, in revisionary society, becomes central, and that's why we need to give much importance to the body politic that we are seeing in Ambedkar. And how we can do that, there's another thing which we talk about. If we think of the structure of a caste system, where a particular caste has to do a particular job, and in that job he hardly finds a time, and when he hardly finds a time, he has less to think about what he is going through. So in that sense, even if you are a Dalit, even if you are a Ati Dalit, even if you are an OBC or whatever, this may be the case that even being in a particular situation, you may not be aware of your own suffering. And why? Because you hardly have a time to reconsider your own suffering. And that's why he says that the modernity has to offer the most beautiful thing that humanity can ever have, and that is leisure. And when you can have leisure, then you have enough time to think of your own suffering, living with others, and then you can think of how you can resolve, how you can revise the society's structure. So that has to be adopted in body politics in Ambedkar, which he did in order to in which sense, when he talks about the 8 hours labor laws, when he talks about maternity leave, when human has to be considered as a and has to be considered with dignity rather than just an animal where he just have to work, satisfying his physical desires and needs. No, one has to go beyond that, and that's how one can have cultivation of mind wala theory, and that's how one can go further. So what I have done is that I have tried to provide a basic structure how Ambedkar has gone through, a basic structure from two perspectives. One is the descriptive metaphysics, just to provide a brief idea how society works. Even when people talks about Dalit issues, sometimes they mislead the whole issue. Sometimes they talk about from the angle of or angle of class. Sometimes they actually doesn't put forward the caste issue. They just use the term the Dalit girl, the rape a Dalit girl, the Dalit atrocities, but actually they don't put out the issue. And then what I have tried to provide in a revisionary metaphysics, two sort of body politics. The first is the social ideal, where one sort of body has to enshrine the religious thing, whereas one has to accommodate liberty, equality, and fraternity while embracing modernity things, which we have seen all the pictures in Ambedkar. So I hope, I mean, I am sweating now, so I think that I should stop. I won't be able to speak much now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Via. I think I should make clear that all of you can ask question in the last, or you can just drop your question in chat box. If you will not be able to ask question in the last, we will ask question on your behalf. So the one is that you can drop your question in chat box, or you can ask verbally in last. Or so I think Rifat should call next speaker. Yeah. Rifat. Okay, no problem. So we have with Vinod Kumar, PhD scholar, JNU, who is our next speaker.
One second, please.
Yeah.
Take a view of other speakers. I would like to speak in the last.
Okay.
So please do me this favor.
Okay, sir. No problem. I think we should go with Sivam Kumar, who is Joint Secretary, JNU ISA unit. So Sivam is with us. Yeah.
So hello everyone. I guess you people are able to listen. Like, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So hello all. Thank you Anshul, Rifat and Ajit sir, of course, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to speak here at Samta Samvad. It's very what to say. It's very good. Like we are having a discussion on Samta, and on behalf of and this is the time when people they are more worried about Samrasta. Like mostly people in and around us, like हम लोग के आसपास वो समरसता पे ज्यादा ध्यान है लोगों का, लेकिन हम आज का एक टाइम है जिसमें हम लोगों को लगा वी हैव हम ARSD में अम्बेडकर स्टडी सर्किल जो है उन लोगों ने सोचा कि समता जो कितनी इम्पोर्टेंट थी, कितनी इम्पोर्टेंट है अम्बेडकर के आइडियाज में। बाबा साहेब ने समता के बारे में काफी बारी लिखा, समता के ऊपर उससे पहले भी लिखा गया कई बारी, लेकिन हाँ जो बाबा साहेब ने लिखा और डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर ने लिखा वो समता को एक तरह से मतलब उन्होंने इस तरह से एस्टैब्लिश किया कि भाई हाँ जनता को ये समझ में आए, और हाँ उसका एक मतलब जो सिर्फ किताबों में ना रह के हम लोग ग्राउंड पे उसको लगाएं, मतलब किस तरह से हम लोग एस्टैब्लिश करें ये समता शब्द एक अपने आप में बड़ा ही महत्वपूर्ण शब्द है। और हाँ जैसा प्रशांत भाई ने बोला कि सेम चीज मतलब वेदर इज ऑल्सो नॉट इन फेवर ऑफ अस, लाइक JNU में और ज्यादा थोड़ी ठंड हमेशा रहती है, तो ये चीज तो सब लोगों के साथ है कि हाँ हम लोग कभी जुकाम बुखार ये तो हमेशा हो ही रहा है। सेम चीज मेरे साथ भी थी, बट हाँ जैसे मुझे परसों अंशुल ने बोला कि यस आपको बोला गया है यहाँ बोलने के लिए, तो मुझे जरा भी वो नहीं लगा कि भाई मुझे थोड़ा रुक के इस पे बोलना चाहिए, मुझे लगता है मुझे बोलना चाहिए था, तो मैं आया। तो हाँ मैं प्रोफेशन से तो मतलब हाँ मैं पढ़ता सोशियोलॉजी हूँ, और बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर से मेरा इंटरेक्शन मतलब बहुत नया नहीं है, हम लोग पुराने मतलब बचपन की हम लोगों की यादें हैं। बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर उनकी फिलोसफी से तो नहीं, लेकिन हाँ उनकी राजनीति से। मैं खुद वेस्ट यूपी से, आई एम फ्रॉम वेस्टर्न उत्तर प्रदेश। आई हैव सीन दैट हाउ in our area BSP has worked, BSP is working, and how also like there are some Dalit caste group also, like Dalit group also, they also work towards Ambedkar's idea. So we were also indulged in these activities, whether it is Ravidas Jayanti or Baba Saheb Ambedkar Jayanti. So it's not new to us obviously, but unlike Prashant Bhai, I will not speak like in the philosophical term. I don't know much about it. But what I have read about Baba Saheb Ambedkar and what I have realized, encountering the Baba Saheb Ambedkar's idea when I just in जब मैं उनको अपनी जिंदगी में मतलब देखता हूँ कि भाई उनके बारे में क्या सोचा, क्या समझा, उन्होंने कितना स्ट्रगल किया, सही बात है, वो कितनी इंस्पिरेशन है हम लोगों के लिए। मुझे लगता है सिर्फ हम लोगों के लिए नहीं, मुझे लगता है कि भारत का कोई भी सेन इंसान, कोई भी होगा, उनके लिए बड़ी हिम्मत की बात होगी कि भाई उन्होंने जिस तरह के जीवन को जिया, ठीक है, मतलब मैं अभी नहीं, मतलब पहले से भी उनकी जो उन्होंने अपनी वेटिंग फॉर वीजा जब लिखी वो तब भी पढ़ रहा था, तो तभी भी उन्होंने उनका जितना स्ट्रगल है, ठीक है, और उसमें वो स्ट्रगल तो हम लोग के सही बात है, हम लोग बहुत लोग इस मुकाम तक पहुंचे कि भाई हम लोग यहाँ के जेएनयू में पढ़ रहे हैं, उससे पहले मैं हैदराबाद में था, ठीक है, लेकिन उससे पहले भी कितना डिफिकल्ट भरी जिंदगी थी, ये सभी लोगों के साथ है, ठीक है, और जिनकी ये डिफिकल्टी भरी जिंदगी थी वो बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर से बहुत ज्यादा अटैचमेंट उनका रहता है, ठीक है, तो यही मुझे बोलना है कि कुछ ज्यादा तो नहीं, बट हाँ यही मतलब सबसे मुझे लग रहा था, मुझे पहले विनोद भाई को सुनना चाहिए कि ये क्या बोल रहे हैं, बट ठीक है, इन्होंने लास्ट में बोलने का डिसीजन लिया, ठीक है, तो यही है कि अभी हाथरस का इंसिडेंट के बारे में बात हुई, हाँ, और भी जगह मतलब ये कई जगह हुआ कि भाई ये डेली बेसिस पे चीजें हो रही हैं, दलित वुमेन के साथ अत्याचार, दलित एट्रोसिटी का मामला, ये डेली बेसिस का मामला है और ये हर जगह हो रहा है, मतलब पूरे देश में कहीं ना कहीं होता ही है। बहुत सी जगह ऐसे भी होता है कि वो सिर्फ सो कॉल्ड अपर कास्ट के द्वारा नहीं, बहुत सी ऐसी जाती हैं जो बैकवर्ड कास्ट से आती हैं, उनके द्वारा की गई चीजें होती हैं, ठीक है। मुझे याद है कि भाई अभी उत्तराखंड में एक टेम्पल एंट्री मूवमेंट था, वो टेम्पल एंट्री मूवमेंट 2016 की बात है, और वहां दलितों की एंट्री के लिए वहां के जो ट्राइबल्स हैं, मतलब उत्तराखंड में ट्राइबल होने का दूसरा मामला रहता है, वहां एरिया के बेस पे ट्राइबल रहते हैं, उन ट्राइबल्स लोगों ने विरोध किया कि दलितों को मंदिर में एंट्री नहीं मिलनी चाहिए। तो मुझे लगता है जो सेपरेट मंदिर का मामला या सेपरेट वेल का मामला गांव में हो, ये ऐसी चीज है कि भाई अब ये इतना हम लोग के दिमाग में इतना सेपरेटिज्म हो गया, मतलब हम लोग विद इन दलित कम्युनिटी भी देयर आर मैनी कास्ट like it's very unfortunate that still we are struggling to get united and to have an umbrella under which we can just come together and fight for our right and dignity। और ऐसा हुआ, मतलब हाँ, जैसे हाथरस के केस में हुआ कि धीरे धीरे पूरे मामले को, पहले जो जिस चीज से शुरुआत हुई, मीडिया का भी समर्थन मिला, ऑब्वियसली कुछ मीडिया हाउसेस शुरू से ही खिलाफ थे, बट हाँ शुरुआत से ही मीडिया का समर्थन मिला, भीम आर्मी ने इस तरह का प्रोटेस्ट किया, फिर दिल्ली में आके मामला ऐसा बना कि नहीं ये बड़ी बात हो गई भाई, अब इस मामले को उठाना पड़ेगा। अब उसमें ये हुआ कि भाई उस टाइम हाँ जयपुर में और राजस्थान में क्या हो रहा था, बलरामपुर में क्या हो रहा था, और भी जगह कहाँ हो रहा था, वो तो यहाँ डेली की बात है, मतलब अनफॉर्चुनेटली दैट दलित्स आर बीइंग ह्यूमिलेटेड डे बाय डे, लाइक एवरी डे आफ्टर समर्स, ये होता ही, बट ये लेकिन इसमें इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट क्या था, जो बहुत रेयर देखने को मिलता है, बहुत रेयर सामने आता है, बहुत रेयर देखने को नहीं मिलता, इट्स देयर इन एवरी केस, इट बी रेयर केस, इसमें स्टेट इम्प्यूनिटी का मामला। आई मीन जैसे हमने देखा कि भाई वहां एक जाति है जो पहले तो वहां डेमोग्राफी पूरे गांव की ऐसी है कि भाई अपर कास्ट मोस्टली अपर कास्ट तरह के लोग हैं, और उसमें वाल्मीकि कम्युनिटी के लोग सिर्फ 12 से 13-15 फैमिली हैं जिनको सिर्फ रखा गया है कि भाई उनको, मतलब हाँ एक कास्ट डेमोग्राफी होती है किसी भी गांव की, विलेज शहरों में तो उतना खुल के दिखता नहीं है, देखने वालों को वो भी दिख जाता है, बट हाँ तो वहां सिर्फ रखा गया क्योंकि वो कुछ चीजें अपने कास्ट बेस्ड ऑक्यूपेशन को परफॉर्म कर सके, ठीक है। बट हाँ मैं इन जो ठाकुर वहाँ कम्युनिटी के लोग हैं और जो अक्यूज हैं, मतलब अगर आप if you are like you will feel surprised that they are just like they don't know how, like they have never gone to school, like it's their problem also, so कभी स्कूल नहीं गए, और हमेशा से उनके दिमाग में एक जो चीजें रही कि हाँ हम लोग सुपीरियर है और बाकी सब इन्फीरियर है, ये मतलब कहीं एविडेंटली ये चीज हुई। धीरे धीरे पूरे मामले को इन्होंने, हाथरस वाले पूरे मामले को ऐसा हुआ कि भाई स्टेट इम्प्यूनिटी मिली, और धीरे धीरे पूरे मामले को डाइवर्ट करने की कोशिश की गई। लास्ट में तो ये आ गया कि भाई भाई ने और माँ ने बेटे मतलब बेटी की हत्या की, ये प्रेम संबंध है, जो कि हर चीज में ये लोग ऐसा निकाल दिया जाएगा लास्ट में और बोल दिया जाएगा प्रेम संबंध। तो इसमें यही मुझे लगता है कि सिर्फ एक बार नहीं, मुझे लगता है कि रूलिंग पार्टी के बहुत सारे लोगों ने इस चीज पे पहले से भी बोला और शुरुआत से बोलते आए थे कि ये पूरा मामला क्या कहते हैं, इसको इतना बनाने की, हिंदू धर्म को तोड़ने की कोशिश है। भाई तोड़ना तो अगर ऐसा है तो पहले भी तोड़ा ही जा रहा था। मतलब हाँ, आप अगर ये था, ये सबसे बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग सवाल उठा कि जब एक प्रैक्टिसिंग हिंदू फैमिली जो है उस गांव की, वो क्या कहते हैं, उसने आप मांगा कि भाई हम लोग रात में बच्चे का शव नहीं जलाएंगे, लेकिन फिर भी ये हुआ कि जलाया गया। लेकिन हाँ, ये तो ऐसा था, उन बहुत लोगों को खलबली मच जानी चाहिए थी कि भाई ऐसा हुआ क्यों, ऐसा क्यों हुआ कि भाई रात में शव इतनी जल्दी क्यों हुई। ठीक है, तब तो इसके लिए तो कई सारे हिंदू संगठनों को सामने आ जाना चाहिए, तो जो कि नहीं है। ठीक है, क्योंकि वो उनका पर्पज सर्व नहीं करते। ऑब्वियसली हमें पता है कि इस देश में जो भी कोट एंड कोट हिंदू संगठन है वो किन जातियों का पर्पज सर्व करते हैं, मुझे कभी नहीं लगा। ठीक है, वो एक बारी दो बारी हुआ कि हाँ, जब दलित वर्सेस मुस्लिम का मामला हो या करवाना हुआ तो हाँ, दलितों के साथ आ जाएंगी। सो हाँ, पूरा हाथरस का केस स्टेट इम्प्यूनिटी का मामला था, जिसमें ठाकुरों को बचाया गया। मतलब ये बचाने की कोशिश जारी है, ये हमेशा से। मतलब और पूरे मामले को जैसे उसके बाद जिस लोगों को भीम आर्मी ने उसमें बहुत सक्रिय भूमिका निभाई, उसका पीएफआई से संबंध और इस चीज को स्टैब्लिश करने की कोशिश की। तो मैं यहाँ दोबारा से मतलब अपोलॉजी कि भाई ही हाँ, मेरी ट्रेनिंग ही सोशियोलॉजी की है और मैं सोशल साइंस और ये सब से हूँ, तो मैं उतना दूसरा मामला ये है कि ठीक है, मतलब ये सिर्फ आज की बात नहीं है, बचपन से हम लोग अपनी लैंग्वेजेस होती थी घर में, बहुत इजीली अवेलेबल होती थी कुछ भी चीजें। तो पढ़ते मतलब धीरे धीरे उनका वेटिंग फॉर वीजा, मतलब हम लोगों की धीरे धीरे ये अच्छी बात हुई कि एक गवर्नमेंट, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने उसकी जिम्मेदारी ली और वो ट्रांसलेट हुआ। तो वेटिंग फॉर वीजा जब मैं पढ़ रहा था, तो उसमें एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज हुई जो मुझे लगता है कि आप लोग के साथ